bitch.
Well, I'll just blow the fucking door off the hinges.
Well, welcome to Malicious... What was our thing again? Morally Ambiguous Podcast. You see how we're going to do this?
Cold open.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, morally ambiguous people.
So, this is our podcast about pretty much everything we can kind of think about and interests us. So, gaming, films, and British a little bit, yeah.
It's everything we can
Tabletop,
think about,
video,
Yeah, exactly, all that stuff.
Loads of stupidity.
Yeah, that too.
Mostly for me.
Most of charge, yeah.
This being our first one, it's gonna be pretty short. Just gonna go through our structure and whatnot.
Have mercy.
Feel free to whip into Jared at any point in time in the emails, comments, or any chat we have going.
That's coming up. Anyway, anyway, this completes the cold open and light banter start.
Do we have to say that out loud?
No, I'm gonna go through it like this because then everyone will remember next time that what the structures are.
Okay.
So basically, he's revising for our future podcast.
Yes.
Oh, dear God,
You can tell when it
it's.
So next session would be what anyone did this week. Anyone want to start, or should I just pick someone?
I was
Should
ill.
we introduce ourselves?
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that, but now I forgot about it. So I'm the host, Pauli. I run this shit show.
I'm the idiot, Jared. I just provide stupidity.
He's the Welsh Muppet.
That's about right. I'm Matt. Don't really know what to say about myself.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll
That
come up
says a
with.
lot. Don't worry.
What about Matt?
I had this idea for every start of the podcast. I would introduce everyone with silly titles next to them. But that'll be next time because I haven't come up with any yet, and they're all usually thematic.
It's not like we've been planning this for a while.
No.
I was looking at the notes and it was since the 2nd of January since I told you the structure.
We can test one before.
Hi, just because these guys are just jumping everywhere with this conversation, I'm Ollie. I am actually the sensible one, apparently. But we come across Justin, and that's kind of another sensible person in the group. We're the only two, I think, left.
I wouldn't say I'm sensible, I'd say I'm a fun one. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
yeah, so I'm Justin. I'm the one that's interesting and generally going to be carrying this podcast through while these idiots just
Fuck you.
do that.
Alright. So Justin, what did you do this week?
I was ill, I did fuck all.
No.
I did actually build some Warhammer for the first time in months.
Lovely.
Mother of God.
Fucking
I
hell.
built
but-
2 transports.
You did it without instructions.
Right, you can understand from our shock at all that Justin building anything is a miracle to behold. To even paint it as well, if he says this, you can start actually handing in money to him and saying congratulations.
Oh, that's one of the 4 signs of the
Amazing.
apocalypse, isn't it?
That's it. That's sorry. Mom, don't give him money. Just be afraid. Just be very afraid.
I sat down on the sofa, nice and ill, built a Taurox Prime, had the instructions for that, piece of piss. Decided to build a Star Weaver, don't have the instructions for that. That took a while,
Alright.
and I'm still not sure it's completely right, and it doesn't have a crew, but it looks kind of like it should, so I'm hoping.
Alright.
Yeah.
Just
So
pray.
that is the story of Justin. He just doesn't know how to do anything really.
Yeah,
What did
fun
you do?
one.
What did you do, Ollie?
What did I do? I just dossed about with my new laptop recently.
Sucked on League.
I've unfortunately. Oh, fuck you. Unfortunately, because of 3 of these idiots in this room, I picked up League of Legends as well, and I'm gradually grinding my way up to level 30 to start even attempting or endeavouring to do ranked. I'm pretty sure I'm going to suck at it.
You get
Nah,
hammered, Jared.
And I can't be as bad as Jared, but we shall see how it goes when I eventually get to that. I might tell you in a later podcast how shit I was in a ranked game. I'm sure these guys can put lots of input into how bad I am.
We
Yeah.
could actually, if we put this on like a blog or anything, we could put links to the videos.
Oh, great! Yeah,
Yeah, we could do
that.
the next episode as a highlight reel of Ollie's great plays.
Here's one where he uses ult. World City in the Nexus base.
Is it global?
Oh, look,
No.
Ollie, you flashed. Where's you flashing to?
Where did he flash to? Into the Jinx ult.
The other thing, viewers, if we do this, you will also notice Justin's map awareness is shite. Justin will stay in the top lane and then go, "Is anyone going to gank?" After being asked 5 times, "Would you like a gank, Justin?" And he'll go, "No, I'm fine. This is how it really works in our league.
You say
We each
that.
have our shit parts.
I played in top lane once in like last week.
True. For some reason, the illness is making you more broad on your horizons.
Yeah, carrying your ass.
No, it's because we told him what the minimap was.
Oh, I forgot. The other day, Justin noticed the minimap for the first time, and he's apparently been playing since the first season of the league. It just shows how.
Not even the first season, since beta.
That's how bad he is.
I haven't played at all.
I started when Talon came out and just kept on there.
I started in August. September?
Same.
September.
Has it
We
been
started
that
in September.
It's been that long,
Yeah.
and I'm still that bad. It's
I
amazing.
started 2 days after you, and just to let you know, viewers or listeners, is probably
You
the
can't
right
recall
word.
them viewers.
Viewers, if you're viewing this, I'm impressed and amazed. But just to let you know, Jared has somehow already reached level 45 or something,
Level 48.
Yeah.
and I'm still trying to get to level 30.
To be
This
fair,
just shows how much of a kind of nerd he is.
Yeah,
be
but
fair, they
you're
added
the
those
student,
levels.
and I'm the one with a full-time job. Like,
Yeah, it shows I have priorities to my sleep and life.
To put this in perspective, I've been playing since the beta, I have a full-time job, and Jared's a higher level than me.
they've reset the levels. Like, you can't put that on me.
No excuse.
also added
Since
more.
starting to play this game, I've gone from 1 to level 30, been reset back down to 1 when they finished the beta, got back to 30, now you can go above 30, and everyone's overtaken.
Jared is a no-lifer apart from work.
I am a no-lifer, and I have nothing to show for it. So.
Well, you have a girlfriend, I suppose, but that doesn't really count for much.
Fuck you.
So what else did you do, Jared, this week?
What else did I do? I played a lot of League.
Yeah, we've been discussing that.
Yeah, so I'm going to discuss something else. I attempted to get back into Knights of the Old Republic, but then obviously ranked started, so I've been putting something else on.
Well, we gotta do that
on the side.
video series anyway.
Yeah, we are going to do that video series. The second, he actually plays
I said to remind me.
a game other than League.
I said remind me
Wait,
about Old Republic, this is the first time you have.
Wait, he played Total War Warhammer the other day.
Oh, touche,
Yeah.
touche.
It
You
was
sucked at that as
impressive
well.
to see him another game, yeah.
I beat
Also,
you.
yeah, that is something we're looking forward to actually in this household, the new
2K.
Team King
Hey, that's in the news category. Don't skip the
Alright.
Spoiler alert. Tomb King's coming out.
Sorry, we're really bad at these. If we do spoil things for you.
No, it's fine.
If we do spoil
It's
things for
Paoli's
you,
fault.
then really you should have thought ahead and not listened to this.
The butler did it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And definitely don't look in the description.
Yeah.
Warning, spoilers that.
The following points.
Point
Oh wait,
points.
that's just the video.
That's just the whole video, yeah. Listen, no, podcast. Sorry, it's not a video. We keep thinking this is a video. It's usually because we're actually being observed by people in this room. We're being scrutinised every day of our lives.
Anyway, Paoli, what did you do this week?
Well,
Oh.
quite a few things.
That is a subtle cue I missed. The waving and pointing shit.
As I
didn't
said,
give it away,
I'm the
did
one
it?
that carries you fuckers.
Well, I had to have someone ask me because I couldn't ask myself. Well,
So, Paoli, what do you do? I don't know,
Very
Paoli.
awkward and the flow wouldn't
What you
work.
do is just go, sorry, Paoli, what do you do? Well, this is what I did this week.
Well,
We're gonna put on a Welsh
That's
accent as
Bill,
well.
the we've gone off point guy.
Oh god, please do the Welsh accent, Paoli.
no, not on the podcast. No, it's pretty much that.
Dear God, if the person who knows where that accent comes from, then you're going to be in trouble,
They
Justin.
took it off.
I doubt they'll listen.
Yeah, maybe. Well,
Ooh.
depends. Anyway, what did I do? Played League with you guys.
Yeah.
We have
You
mixed
poor
results.
sod.
Funnily enough.
Yeah. Worked on some
Mentioned me a
stuff.
lot about League.
Did
Being crap at it.
had to organise this bloody thing.
Hey, I was one.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no.
Hardest person to organise was man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
man, that's a busy motherfucker.
Oh yeah, Matt's not going to be here, but we'll get into that.
That's not gonna be it. We're actually killing him off, guys.
We
yeah.
figured it's a good way to get the story arcs going. Who killed Max?
He said the
If
button.
what we should have said anything.
The
and then
public
just have-
feedback came back and we've already had to get rid of him.
If anyone's listening to his comment earlier who killed him, let us know.
It's clearly the butler.
Ah,
We have a
you spoiled it
butler?
already.
Nah, that's what you think. What are you with?
Well, he's upstairs and he's a very low, lonely person.
Well, actually, I'll just leave it at that, and we'll have probably more detailed weeks when we actually start doing this for next time.
When we
I'm
have
actually going to
lives,
start branching out my interests so we have more to talk about.
Sad.
Well, I could go into all the anime I watched and all the TV shows. I
Oh,
watched.
please do go into the
Now I
animes.
can't be bothered.
Is that not the
Wow,
point?
this is a podcast. How do you do something?
Literally walk into a classroom. I'm here to teach you guys how to program a computer. Now get the fuck out.
By the way, Pally learns this shit, so.
Well, I could just go for the one Netflix show series that came out, which was Devilman Crybaby.
Oh, I've been looking at that. Is that all right?
Yeah, it's alright.
The silent person in the room is giving a thumbs up. So.
Say
Yeah.
something. Say
No.
something. Okay, our token woman is not saying it.
We tried for diversity.
We do
couldn't
actually
get
have
it.
females in the house. It's amazing. It's a miracle. Matt usually brings them in first because
Anyway,
Matt seems to pick them up.
it's a remake of the 1970 manga and anime thing. And they just updated some guy just did their reimagining of it.
Okay.
And it's way more violent and has more sexual content than the original, I think.
Whoa!
But it
sexual
has the
content.
same kind of story points, which is like fine. I didn't know it was at 1970s, which kind of threw me off what the...
you're telling
thing
viewers
was.
it's hentai, right?
No, it's not quite
Are
there.
you sure?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Okay.
So is it like fan service kind of sexual content, or is it actually based around the story?
It has some story implications, but the way that it's kind of displayed to the viewer kind of leads me to think it's just service.
I hate that stuff.
Indeed.
So I finished up an old. Well, I didn't realise it was old. I thought the animation was pretty good.
Which one?
Anime on Netflix the other week.
So-
Samurai Champloo.
Oh, yeah, that thing. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I did not realise that this was like a cult
This is a
classic.
cult
Yeah,
classic,
It is
yes.
so good.
It was.
Enjoy anime.
It was
Well
so.
done.
Did you
so
enjoy
good.
the baseball history lesson?
I loved that episode so much. It was
Jesus.
complete craziness. Why were people dying over a baseball game? Oh,
This
it's
is
fantastic.
Japan. This is the
You really
wonderful
should.
world of
You really
Japan.
should watch JoJo or read JoJo.
Yeah.
I do need to watch a bit of JoJo.
By the way,
JoJo's
please,
Bizarre
please
Adventure.
don't watch JoJo. I listened to these guys go on about it enough that I have avoided it completely.
Well, we have shown a few episodes.
Yeah, you have, and I will admit they were kind of enjoyable, but it's also kind of annoying when they start screaming JoJo.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
The whole
the house.
point.
I need to
Yeah.
get into Fist of the North Star, so I just get the meme.
Well,
I just got fist. I'm thinking, where you stick
nah,
it?
well, not to go into too much detail, but like the first bit of JoJo is inspired by that because a whole bunch of anime and manga was inspired by 80s action movies, and therefore that got plastered over to Fist of the North Star, and then that became like what every other mangaka and anime started.
I did think
copying.
that motherfucker looked a lot like Bruce Lee.
Well,
It's like in JoJo, some of the characters are based around like Clint Eastwood and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, because when you've added many characters in JoJo, it's like you just start running out of ideas.
The villain is always some kind of form of David Bowie, for whatever reason.
Oh Jesus, yeah, it is.
Ziggy Stardust.
Just,
And the spiders from Mars.
Anyway, Matt, what did you do this week?
Mainly been working on coursework, unfortunately.
Oh boy.
2,500 word assignment on how childhood is a contextual issue.
And you're doing it the night before, right? Like a good student.
No.
Our female guest is nodding at that. So,
Yeah, some of the
Tell us
hand
how
signals
bad
are quite
she
entertaining.
This non-verbal podcast is great.
What non-verbal, non-visual you mean?
yeah, this is why we need a
That
visual
was like
camera on the show.
There was a bit where it was like, it's basically hentai.
That works really
Just
well.
like-
Yeah.
Just
That
to
joke will
explain, viewers,
translate great.
Justin did actually grin and throw his thumbs up. That's the explanation for that.
I was
section.
mimicking her, not doing that for me.
Just to say, Justin is a hardcore hentai fan. We all know this.
Sure.
We have to talk to
I've seen his bookmarks there.
They're just
To be
horrifying.
fair,
There's a lot of
I
tentacle porn in there.
think
If you
I'm
do
the
not
only
know
one
what that
here
is,
that
do
doesn't
not look
watch
it
anime.
up. Anyway, anything else? You're just giving EA a reason to keep their house on fire?
Yeah, well, admittedly, I do like the new Star Wars Battlefront.
Which he's playing currently.
Yeah. But I enjoy it just for the gameplay, not for what they actually did with loot boxes and stuff like that.
It's a whole big discussion over in my course, like, is it good? But then we were doing indie gaming and we were like, yes, it's good when we're the guys trying to get the money.
Yeah.
So, Pauli, when you bring out a game in the future, you're going to make us pay for it through the nose?
Yeah.
No, you get the game free.
Yeah, so.
But I,
Pay for
but I,
the cool bits.
but I,
Yeah.
won't, but I won't agree with it. Therefore, I'm being morally ambiguous. Ah.
He'll put the like literal game functions in loot boxes. Like, oh, you want that soundtrack? You better roll well.
To be fair,
Yeah,
what's it?
he'll
Star Wars: The Old Republic kind of does that with the free-to-play version where it locks like menu optimization by putting it behind paywalls.
Wait, what?
Wait,
Are you
they're
trying to get us
literal menu optimization.
Yeah.
You're actually trying to get us to play this game, and it does this shit.
Well,
He's got one of them. The other two are fine.
I have a better
Yeah.
idea.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Loot boxes. Each time you get a loot box, you get another pixel, and that adds it to your resolution. You have to play more to find out what you're playing.
The first one's like a penny and it just doubles every time you get them.
to be fair,
This game is great. What game is it? I have no idea.
Please play another 9,000 times until I can see what you're doing.
you can all play Valve and then Blizzard for increasing the amount of pay.
Yeah,
Valve's
they
doing
did
okay on that
cosmetics.
front,
like-
Yeah, but that's a slippery slope where it's
It
just
is.
cosmetic and then people could defend it and therefore.
Well, so were pre-orders. You got to blame pre-orders
It is-
first.
yeah,
so-
we could, and the
just-
thing we had to do is not do it.
Just to point out that we are a group of guys that play League of Legends, and we all have paid
No,
for
no.
skins.
I was gonna say, speak for yourself.
League of Legends is 100% completely free. You never ever will spend money on it.
Apart from
Said
skins.
no one that played it more than like 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's what my point is, viewers. Powley's argue against kind of loot boxes and things, morally and ambiguously, of course, but he still is willing to pay for a skin, maybe £5 for a skin on a game.
Yeah, I have to show people how good I am.
Is that how it matters? Okay. I
We need to
learn
play the
this.
skin game and then
Yeah,
win by
exactly.
that. Like,
Yeah, you keep saying
everyone knows you win on the start screen, not on
Yeah,
the
exactly.
game.
The moral victory there.
The game's the mini game after winning the skins game.
Yeah, dear.
Anything in the news or anything you want to talk about?
We going
Trump
like
did
full
something funny.
political or like?
Oh god, yeah. that
No,
was
anything
funny.
that interests us really, generally.
Yeah, we're not going to get political on this, guys.
No,
Don't worry.
well, you can, but
Well, I asked you guys not to because we'll just argue over something stupid.
yeah,
Well,
sure.
in terms like let's go back to tabletop again. Like
Oh.
there's a new Star Wars tabletop. game.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Star Wars
that's
Legion.
news. Yeah,
I cannot wait for that to be released.
One of us is excited about this.
it is one, but I want one to carry the conversation for a little bit.
No, I'm really looking forward to it. It's a lot simpler than, well, I think it's a lot simpler than the system we currently use with Warhammer. But it's just a mix-up of two of my favourite mediums, so Star Wars in the film industry and tabletopping for my hobbies.
Do we know anything more about like rule systems or?
In terms of combat, it's all done with 3 dice and that's it. It'll either be miss, hit, or a critical. Movement is everyone's every one has a standardised movement. That's all done on a measuring stick that they provide with you in the starter box.
Okay.
And you can get these cards which give other characters abilities, so you can boost your men, make them better, or cause random abilities to happen.
Okay, that's cool. So it's kind of like an X-wing mashup of tabletop.
Yeah, pretty much, and it's meant to be released early this year, so I'm really looking forward to that one.
Alright. And what do you get in the Starbucks?
Starter box is Rebels and the Galactic Empire.
Wait. You mean those 2 factions in Star Wars?
No, no,
and only the 2.
in the most popular time frame as well.
There's the
But,
good guys and the bad guys.
So you get
And nothing in
Empire
between.
and Rebels with, I think it's 15 infantry on each side with 2 special units and heroes like Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker.
Mhm.
Fair enough.
So, getting on to another topic. There's a new Fable game apparently coming out.
What?
What?
Oh.
There's a
It's-
new Fable game?
Yeah, apparently it's being made by Playground Games, which made Forza Horizon on the Xbox.
Ooh.
Fills me with confidence, I know.
I have so many questions.
Ooh, that
Oh, let me
is...
just let me get the article
Yeah.
up. Then.
Welcome to Fable Racing.
Is was it Molyneux who did the original Fables?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Is he involved in the project?
Nope.
No.
Oh,
The
So
original
no
company was
lies.
Lion Studios, wasn't it?
Lionhead.
Lionhead
Yeah.
did that one. So
Yeah.
I mean, they did
They did
classics
quite a good job.
like Black
The
and
only
White.
one they failed on was the third one, which I found. No, my personal opinion for those who don't have to agree, but I thought the third Fable flopped completely. Best one was the second Fable.
Also, it was fun how their
I like
free-to-play
functions of
multiplayer
it.
game, Fable
Yeah.
Legends, never came out while they were
But
developing
it didn't hold like
Mm,
first and second one, which really did a good job of telling a story and pulling you through and doing.
Well,
great
like,
builds.
I think the
They
first one
kind
was
of-
the strongest wise, like
Yeah, but that's because
narratively.
they broke ground. Like,
I know,
a
I know.
morality
Right.
system had never
the
really
second
been
one
included.
improved on it.
a little bit.
Was it
wasn't as
improved in
strong.
it? Wasn't original in the sense of that. It was slightly less original. It was still following a similar theme, but I definitely say Fable 2 is the best one.
Yeah, I've played one Fable game, and after walking around the palace for 5 minutes, I got bored because there was nothing to do.
That sounds
I
like
didn't think you were
Justin
playing it
Fable
right.
3.
Yeah.
I don't know which one it was. But
That
it was
sounds
very
like
boring.
Fable 3.
It sounds like
worst
Fable
one.
3, and I think you were supposed to, get stabbed by your
Yeah,
brother or
Yeah,
something.
no one stabbed me. I literally wandered around.
That's
talking
such a
to everyone.
shame.
That's a
No.
really
That's such an awful
It's like
shame.
this is something that should have happened in real life. by
I
the way.
played Amnesia. Everyone's like, oh, it's terrifying. So, okay, dark room, headphones on, just playing it. I walked around for half an hour and nothing happened. There was nothing there, and you can't progress because there's nowhere to go.
I feel like he's having issues with the minimap
I
again.
think
There isn't a minimap.
generally I agree with you on that one. Yeah.
To
I
be
walked into the room you're meant to go in, and there's nowhere to go. I got to carry some boxes around.
Justin,
That's it.
did you by any chance decide to pick up a controller and not recognise that you're actually using the keypad and the laptop?
Yeah, the
And you
was
used them
these,
around
not
and
the...
mouse buttons, you
Well,
know?
I was doing that. Just
You
nothing,
sure?
Nothing was
to be fair, that game was designed for you to have like a couple of hours to get used to it without anything, just the atmosphere being scary.
The atmosphere wasn't scary. I was
Exactly.
in an empty
A
building.
couple
It
of
depends.
hours.
It depends, like on people's specific if you are into that or not. And
That would be like me going, Valley,
yes.
you've been alone for 5 minutes. Have you shat yourself out?
Sorry.
Yes.
Well, if I just now.
Anyway, getting back
Time to the infraction.
apparently, Playground's a UK-based team, and Eurogamer says they making a Fable-themed open-world action role-playing game
Okay, so Fable.
because Microsoft got wind of what was it, Horizon Zero Dawn and how successful that was, so I had to get on that bandwagon.
Oh, right, yeah, that always works.
Yeah,
Is that the one where you
Sounds
hunted
foreboding.
dinosaurs?
yeah, met robot dinosaurs.
Yeah, I actually really wanted to play that.
Yeah,
It's actually
apparently
really
pretty
good.
Yeah.
Not to criticize it at all because it was a good game. It was just in a market where it's saturated because hey, a open world game where you're going around crafting something and hunting something else.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever done that. Far Cry 8.
Yeah.
Hello, Zelda.
Daisy.
I just liked it for the robo dino.
Well, Zelda did it better, to be fair.
The bloody thing keeps on winning those awards, and the automata gets the one, then they don't. The automata gets the one sound award and nothing else, and they don't play the music at the awards.
He's actually shaking with fury.
No, I'm playing it up, so it's
It's like it's how-
Oh, really?
It's
Yeah.
finished
Yeah,
fury.
we all can see that we'll. Yeah.
It's that cold Finnish fury.
Yeah.
By the way, folks, if you think Finland is a country, please let us know. We're not sure about that yet.
It's a fairy tale, isn't it? Something to scare your kids.
That's what we believe, yeah.
I thought it was where the elves go when they leave Middle Earth.
As you can see, our
Oh,
director is
that's-
slightly moved to our response.
But that's apparently just a rumor.
is an OP reference.
I was about to say, sod the mystery of how I ended up killed. It's how the mystery of how the rest of the podcast got killed.
Justin's jokes.
It's not going to be a mystery anymore. Suspect number 1 is next to me.
So apparently, Quantum Dream, the guys who made Heavy Rain and
No.
and Beyond Two Souls and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Now, you can
Fahrenheit,
actually- this is
Fahrenheit.
quite
Oh yeah,
interesting.
that yeah.
You can tell
apparently,
me about them.
apparently there's workplace harassment and sexual behavior, racist and sexist behavior
I didn't know they made movies.
What, at that studio? Like, in the game?
in the studio
Oh, okay.
because apparently David Cage, he disputes the allegations, but
When do they not?
It says when did anyone ever admit to touching up something?
they accuse him and the executive producer of either tolerating on managing a workplace riven by inappropriate humor. There's like a really stupid example of this, like saying like there's nothing, like it's not a football locker room, but then there's a dick and balls and it's got a fart
It's
drawn a
kind
fart
of,
out
it
of it.
sounds like a
This
very
translates well.
careful subject of whether it's someone being very kind of a bit soppy and not actually just accepting that you're in a working environment, some people have different opinions, and something between them actually being very violent, well not violent, but very unpleasant. It's a bit of a careful kind of opinion for
That's
this article.
the most eloquent way I've heard of saying, don't be a dick and man up.
Yes, probably the best way of putting it. Don't be a dick, man up. But is it actually that kind of situation or not? Because you haven't. What's the article actually saying? Is the question.
Let me see.
Let's try to put it to you.
Let me see. Inappropriate humor. Le Monde, which is a French newspaper that
Okay, I'm already questioning already.
report centers on a cache of 600 altered images called homophobic and insisted by those who saw them, that were brought to Cage's attention after an employee discovered they were put in one. Let me see. Cage's face was placed on that of a male stripper holding a power tool with a sex toy for an attachment.
What?
Everyone just woke up then.
Whoa!
Power tool got made.
Yeah.
Combination, oh yeah.
Let me
We should
see.
ask our feeling on August.
What sort of talk we talking?
Jackhammer.
Also, he defends himself by saying he's not homophobic by saying he works with Ellen Page, has worked with Ellen Page,
Ooh,
and
you
says,
need to be a bit careful now.
and he says he wants to talk about racism. He's worked with Jesse Williams, who fights for civil rights in the United States,
Just
and then he
because
says,
you're-
"Judge my work."
Okay.
Yeah, that's a bit of a.
Have you
he
played
needs
his
he needs
games?
some better PR, to be honest, because that's a very pathetic excuse to
Alright.
argue why you're safe and not any of those things.
Well, you know, it could not be a dick.
Because, yeah, exactly.
Why didn't you sexually harass this person?
Because I worked with Jesse.
They weren't.
Tumbleweeds.
They weren't pretty enough.
Sorry, if I'm going to sexually harass someone, I want to be right up there.
Yeah.
Any other news?
There's a Dark Souls remaster coming out.
Yeah.
A remaster.
Yeah, the first one.
Like,
Yay.
how old has a game got to be before?
It came out in 2009, so it's been 9 years.
So 9 years. That's,
Yeah.
Is
That's
that
actually a
is that
reasonable
old enough
time.
for a remaster, really, or is that just like
Well, if you look at
the
StarCraft,
cash cow?
don't know, people want to play it.
And also, with all the new consoles these days and Xbox 360 kind of being a populous thing where it originally came out on, kind of understandable that you try and make it match up to the current console genre and keep it popular.
Hey, when's Demon Souls getting a remaster, and that's on
That's
PS3?
really
yeah.
No, it
Oh, dear.
it wasn't as
Ooh.
fine tuned as the later ones, but it has good stuff in there. Hey,
I think the answer was fine tuned there. It was kind of shows
hey,
it
the,
wasn't
di-
as
the
amazing.
director who had to take over actually made a kind of had to somehow get a working build happening.
Yeah,
and
okay.
They got something out of it.
He was under pressure.
Also, it was a new game system
Also, considering
No,
in a business
game
sense, it
style.
obviously didn't do well enough
Anyway.
to warrant improvement.
When's the remaster of Battle for Middle Earth coming out? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a game that deserves.
Or those what were
Battlefield
the
2 for the win.
what were the like those fighting game? Well, not fighting games, but action games for
Not Street
PlayStation
Fighter.
2 for Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
Well,
the
literally
just,
just
just
called that the titles
the
of
movie
the
tie.
films.
Like the
Yeah.
only time that there was actually a good movie tie-in game.
Yeah.
They definitely should get a remaster.
They were decent.
I just love it. It's like, orcs are running at me. That'd be a shame if I'm Legolas and fire 2 penetrating arrows with each shot.
Man, I still remember that Helm's Deep mission from the. I think
Oh,
it was the
yeah.
first
That was
one.
great,
That,
and with
like,
the troll right at the end of it and all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite
Also,
good.
or Gandalf in Minas Tirith trying to defend the walls.
And
Oh,
bashing off
yeah,
the
that's
tower,
so
bashing
good.
off the ladders from the walls.
Yeah.
Bashing them off.
Yeah.
I prefer to that.
Yeah.
You know
it
a
is.
game, or just a level, like if any level out of any game that should get a remaster just for that one particular level, the D-Day scene from was it Medal of Honor?
Medal of Honor, yeah.
Yeah, Medal of Honor 3, I think it
Medal of Honor
was.
3, not Rising Sun, because Rising Sun came.
No, Rising Sun was the one about
One after,
the
yeah.
Pacific. You had the
Yeah.
Pearl Harbor mission.
That
That
was
also
a good
one.
game. That was a very good game.
But no,
actually.
the D-Day fighting up the beaches, that was a
That was
fantastic.
kind
That
of
should
the
just get a
lineup.
remaster of itself.
Almost, it's kind of like the thing that was beating Battlefield 2 at the time, wasn't it? Kind of Medal of Honor
Was
stuff.
Battlefield even a thing? I think it was.
Battlefield 1942 came out in 2000, I think. Very early.
No, I remember playing the D-Day assault mission and my nan walking past and I was going, nope, walking off, and my mum telling me later that she was having flashbacks from what her husband had told her. And I was like, I won't play that when she's around now.
Okay, bad choice,
Okay.
mate.
Bad choice.
Sorry, Nans.
One of the problems might be with remasters is that the companies that made them don't exist anymore, so it makes it a little bit legally difficult to.
Well,
get a
I know
remaster
why
going.
they can't make a remaster of
Yeah.
Battle for Middle Earth at the minute. Is because Warner Brothers holds the right to Lord of the Rings. Because
Although
they're
they've
making.
just been bought, haven't they?
Have they?
It was bought recently by Disney.
Oh, of course it was.
No, that was Fox.
Oh, was that Fox?
Yeah, it was half of Fox.
Yeah.
Not the news
Yeah.
guys,
Um,
because
Tolkien, in his dealings when he sold the rights for it, specified that Disney's never allowed to own any part of Lord of the Rings
yeah.
because he really fucking hated Disney.
Wow.
Walt
I didn't
Disney
know that.
was kind of a very difficult character. So.
also fucked up the was it public domain stuff, so we don't get as much public domain things to be
Wow.
used in our work.
Oh, right, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because they didn't want to get because Mickey Mouse was supposed to become public domain, but because he makes too much money for Disney, they decided to change the rules around.
Oh, yeah, money makes money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the head of the evil corporation.
We want to talk about what
Oh,
came
Joey,
out in
you're gonna now be
2017.
cancelled by Disney.
You want to talk about what happened in 2017, like game-wise, and what came out?
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, like, there was a number of, like,
Good game.
Yeah, I know
in-
there's-
industry
yeah.
changes in 2017 at least.
Games came out.
Yeah, they
Things
did.
happened.
We're now in 2018.
But
No.
like, it's the rise of loot boxes in
Well-
terms of pay to win sections.
Well, we got
at
a
least.
really good start with Nier and some other games that came out earlier this year. I can't remember all of them.
You can tell by our Finnish representative that he's very biased towards Neo Automata.
But it's
No,
Japanese.
he hasn't mentioned it once.
No.
It's a Japanese game and deserves more recognition than it's getting.
It looks a
Would.
good
Oh.
game.
But
Sorry,
It is good.
are all Japanese games good because I raise you Sword Art Online?
Ooh.
That's not a game. That's an anime series.
No, they made a game.
Yeah, I know they did.
And it
It
was
was
terrible.
Yeah, I know.
Flopped.
Flopped hard.
Yeah.
But that's like you got a few companies there that make good stuff.
But
Like From
Then-
Software, not Konami because fuck Konami.
but they're
Um,
probably
Oh, that
wow.
that wound
That's
still
a bit
hurts,
salty
doesn't
there,
it?
isn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
we get Death Stranding, so it's fine.
But they are kind of playing toward very much kind of clique, kind of specialist gaming groups who like those kind of games.
Like me.
Because, like you, Paolo, yeah, like you. Whereas the rest of the group, and I don't know if Matt's included in this. I don't know your opinion on these kind of these little niche games. Whether we don't really go towards those games.
Well, I have only one sentence to tell you. Get good.
Oh, okay. All right. Just, trying to-
Anyone play? Anyone play Prey 2017?
Pray. No, I actually never played it.
Play
playing it earlier
17.
this year,
Oh, the
weren't we?
game, yeah.
Yeah.
It looked good, but at the time I think it was a
It
bit.
looked good.
I
casual.
got on it and pretty much beat it in like 2 sittings.
Oh.
how long were these cities?
Ugh.
Like 6-8 hours.
So,
So like 16 hours.
so
then.
16, so 12 to 16 hours.
It's
So the usual
When Halo
game
2
play.
came out, I finished it in 6 hours.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
Games aren't
16
designed
hours on a
for
single
campaign,
player
though.
campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really good.
It's alright.
Yeah. To be fair,
It's not an RPG. Like
No,
you're not
it's
expecting
single player
180.
What they've done, what they did in
4
it,
hours.
it's
That's good.
because where it takes place is space station, and they pretty much populated every single room in there with like its own like narrative, and what happened in the visual environmental storytelling.
Okay,
it's
so they
like-
made a good story.
Yeah, it's a decent story, but it kind of starts dragging in the end portion. Like what it does at the beginning is like, here are a few questions. Will you hold to these morals that you started out with, or will you change them during the game? But that's more like for you to track rather than the game tracking it for you. Unless
Okay.
at the ending where it does track a few things which are a little bit weird, and I found like interesting.
I've always found moral questions a bit weird in games. I mean, like you're playing a game, so you know that there's no real actual consequences to your
Yeah.
ethics. So why would you stick to them?
It's like when playing like Dragon Age and those sort of games. You just go, oh, I can do this or I can do this. Well, this guy's useful in my party and you're not, so fuck you, mate. You're off.
Well, I have
And then you kill this random dude and it's like, well, now he likes me more. So
Just
Well, that's what they eventually boiled down
Just
to.
to-
Is just like making both choices a
just
negative
to
for
put
you.
in
That's all they
though,
could do.
funnily enough, I find morals interesting games because I myself, I don't know why, every time I try to do it, I can't. I try to play evil kind of gameplays, kind of run-throughs of a game, maybe Skyrim, and I go kill everybody. But I never seem to be able to do it. I seem to keep going back to being a nice guy.
I have the opposite problem.
Yeah, I was about to
Like
say.
Renegade for life, so.
Like,
Okay,
like
so-
normally the
In
villain.
KOTOR, I am unable to do the good things because I can't be bothered.
that's the thing. You're bowing to social pressure to be a decent human being. You're allowed to let that go in a video game.
Break the
I know,
chains.
but I still don't.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but Superman
I
Chuck,
think
like.
always these things can be quite good for some people like myself who have to then take up a question that is basically a what is the best option, and sometimes it can be really hard in a game because you want a result to be like it is and it's not. So you can have like for example Dark Souls, as we've seen in the recent playthrough Matt had when he plays, we ended up killing off somebody so that he could end up becoming a spoiler alert, basically a new Cinder Lord.
No, he just took over the Age of Fire.
Yeah, pretty much. But he didn't have to go and kill this person and sacrifice them on an altar. And I probably wouldn't have done that game through, which would have been an interesting ending, I suppose.
See, the way I look at it is in real life, if I took that person and sacrificed them on an altar, that's bad. If I do it in a video game, the electrons aren't going to be sad. They're just going to get on with life.
And then reprogram when you
Ah,
could.
So you're only a good person because of consequence.
No, I'm a good person because, yeah, consequences, basically.
You're told to, and you can end up in trouble.
Yeah.
It's just
Life's
to get
too
away
short
with
to spend it
shit.
in jail.
I think Undertale was. probably,
Undertale's
okay,
brilliant.
that's a good
Was that
one, yeah.
2016 now?
2016,
I think so, yeah.
I think, yeah.
2016, but that's
Yeah.
still having like repercussions
Still-
across the industry this
Yeah.
year.
A little bit.
Like,
Like, it brought that retro feel back.
indie game though.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, at the age of a really nice achievement, but I played one game that is made by like one guy, and it took him 3 years. Well, yeah, and then eventually.
Good cutaway, guys. Good cutaway.
Yeah.
Something's happening, we don't know what.
That new South Park game came out.
Oh, well, the
Which
fractured
one?
butthole.
The fractured butthole.
Yeah.
I haven't played it. I just like saying the name.
Phone.
That's your nickname, isn't it?
I didn't get through. I
Only
played
during
it,
my
but I
university years.
haven't gotten through it yet.
Jared, it hasn't changed much, so.
Neo came out, which is that Japanese Dark Souls game.
Yeah, that
Was good.
That did look really
I
good.
played it a little bit actually.
Yeah.
Not too much. My friend of mine is a game journalist, so he has just like all the games. So I went around to his place, played it a little tiny bit, and it is difficult as you would expect a Dark Souls-esque game to be. But the setting, the
It's not as fair, I
difference,
find.
but it made enough differences to the way you play that it's
Yeah,
an
I will
interesting
agree.
take on it.
Well, I have it here. I'm in my PlayStation 4. So.
Oh right, cool.
Yeah.
We'll bust that out later.
Yeah. Neo Automata came out and it's brilliant. You should play it.
Plug.
Plugging
We
for
are
the win
not in
here.
any way sponsored by them.
We really
Yes.
are.
Well, it's made by Platinum Games. Well, developed by Platinum Games, but they had Yoko Taro be the director of the thing. And
Yeah. So if any of those people are listening,
Wink, nudge, nudge.
Harley graduates this year, and he would be interested in applying for a position.
well, not in Japan.
and I'd be interested
That
in
worked.
free stuff.
That work ethic and the cultural stuff kind of probably get in the way.
Yeah, damn them doing
Well,
work.
I mean, yeah, it gets in the way of your entire life, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Having a whole week
Like
off.
people are dying from work. That's not supposed to
Well,
happen.
yeah. Well, exhaustion.
It's a bad time.
That's a bit difficult.
Cuphead came out.
Oh, yeah.
Cuphead
That's
did
a
come
good
out.
game,
That was a
actually,
great
yeah,
game.
it's
I
been
really
a good
enjoyed that.
game. Enjoyed watching that be played through.
The aesthetics of it.
Yeah,
The
because
scenery,
there's
the
so
music.
many references to early animation.
Yeah.
It's a nice
It was-
original game, actually. I'd say.
Before
Well,
Disney came, before Disney like got a chokehold on it,
Yeah.
on
yeah.
the animation style of the.
But no, it was a fantastic game. It was fun to play as well as also
Yeah.
being difficult.
Jesus Christ, that was a good game.
Persona
Just
5 came
pretty.
out.
Persona 5 didn't play it.
Well,
I saw
I
a bunch
haven't-
of it.
I've started playing
It's
it.
actually quite enjoyable to watch.
What was really weird because I got the Vita before I left for holidays to Finland,
Hmm.
and I got Persona 4 Golden on it,
Yeah.
and then my brother for some reason started to like just mess around with it, and I could not get it away from him afterwards because he was so gripped by it, and I was like, okay.
The most interesting part of that game, I felt, was what they did to streamers about it.
Oh yeah, I really got annoyed by that
Like,
because you cannot play the whole thing through, and
well,
like
you can't play. Was it past level like 7?
no, it's not a level, it's a date.
It's
Because
a date. That was it.
Because how the game works is that you pretty much it's a social, well not social, but daily grind to get to the last day
Yeah.
when stuff happens. So it's pretty much like a life simulator or high school simulator, really.
It just seemed a bit funny because like that. Usually, I find that streaming is literally the best advertisement for things,
Yeah, I would say so.
and yet they seem to. I guess they're doing it for spoilers, but
Well, yeah, they want people to actually buy the game and play for themselves. But I'm like, if you're going to do that to streamers, then
but these days they are the way you sell games.
well, yeah, well, mostly.
Which game is this?
We're doing a podcast.
We're doing a podcast.
I just think it's funny that I haven't actually heard of any of these games since the Dino Robot one.
Oh yeah. Well, he's very Japanesey, isn't he? So.
That just grabbed my interest, and they're usually good, as opposed to some games.
I haven't
So
heard a single thing about it.
let's change the topic onto other matters. Justin building
I've got a whole
Warhammer.
list here.
Yeah, I have it all listed.
Yeah, but I think we're kind of plugging away at all these games and all this discussion, and it might just bore the viewers a little bit. So let's choose.
No, I'm going to switch to anime now.
Well, I was actually going to switch
Let's
to a
go over
topic
to
which
Justin
all
building
four of us
Warhammer.
have a very strong passion for, which is Warhammer.
No, but I think it comes later. It's in the section.
In
different
the
section.
next podcast, we'll also discuss paint drying.
Just,
And then the one after that, peeling
Yeah.
paint.
and stripping it, and
Or we want to go to TV shows because Game of Thrones came out. Well, that was
nah, not
brand
really
new.
interested at the moment.
No, fine.
Yeah,
I've
Game
not
of
been
Thrones,
watching
we kinda need it
much
to come
TV.
out sooner.
Yeah.
So wait a year,
Yeah.
It's a year off, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
not till next year, which sucks.
Stranger
I still haven't
Things
seen the last
season 2
episode.
came out.
Didn't watch it.
How do you not?
Stranger
Lost
Things
it.
season 2 was fantastic. I'll plug that till the end of the earth.
I haven't seen that either.
That so good.
Oh,
I put it off
yeah.
for so long because people were plugging it this hard, and I just I was like, I react that way to hype. I'm just like, no, I'll get to it in my own time. So
Yeah, right. Moving on.
Another
But-
another TV show coming out that I've been plugged at from next door to me is The 100's coming out. Anyone watch
No,
that?
we're moving
Oh,
on.
that really stupid program.
It-
I'm
it's-
sorry. Radiation does not take 100 years to go away.
Fallout.
I actually quite enjoyed watching The 100. And the first season was pretty cool. The second season, bit weird. Third season, I don't really
Nope.
get where they were going with that. I haven't seen the fourth. I didn't know it was out. Why do I miss all this news?
You gotta love this conversation with a fucking mute.
Do you want to come and join in this little section? Just plug your piece about 100 to all of us.
Yeah, she was literally just holding up a finger after another.
She was just literally making all these dramatic shows, and she just won't.
But we really must move on.
participate.
Anyway,
Oh, okay, fine, Carly. Right, just cut that out.
anyway, other Netflix shows that came out. So Netflix.
Is it just Netflix we're watching?
Well, not
Amazon
really,
Prime?
but these are the ones that came out before me. Mindhunter, which was looking at serial killers and how they start profiling them.
Oh, is that like true crime?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
BoJack Horseman season 4 came out. No one cares.
No, I watched the first season of that. It didn't
I've been
grip
meaning to
me
watch
as
it,
much as
but-
Archer did.
No, I like it, but anyway. The Crown season 2 came out.
Could
That's
not
another way
care
for the next
less
top
about
three.
period dramas. Carry on.
I liked the first season more.
Apparently
Anyway.
it plugs it way at classic drama quite a lot.
Black Mirror season 4 came out.
I watched that.
That's good. I haven't watched that yet. I look forward to it though.
It relied a lot on the whole kind of technological sentience thing.
Well, yeah.
That, like, I mean, they kind of do
To be fair,
discuss
that happened
technology
with
going dark, but it relied too much on, like, hey, code's got a mind of itself. And
Well,
I
the
was like,
thing is that it's being out so long and people have caught up to it and they're expecting things from it now.
yeah. The episode that got the lowest rating, which I thought was actually one of the better ones, was
Which
the one with the robot dog, the drone.
Oh, that thing, yeah.
I thought that was really good, really cleverly done, really cleverly shot, especially to put it in black and white.
Yeah.
But it seemed to get the
just
lowest
made me think
ratings.
of Lassie for some reason.
That no one was trapped down a well.
I know.
I was just thinking, where has she got? Where is she?
But the house is okay.
Timmy's down the well.
Maybe it was a metaphorical well.
Yeah.
A well of the mind.
To be fair, Black Mirror metaphors.
Also, the reason why they were out doing the stuff was really annoying to me.
Yeah, no, I didn't like that really.
No.
I mean, it kind of like human element, but
Yeah, exactly, like, why would
make
you
it
do
drugs, like.
Why would you do that? American Crime Story, what was it? The
Oh,
what was his thing? The guy with the glove. O.J. Simpson versus
Oh,
people.
okay.
I was thinking Michael Jackson.
is he?
so-
I
Back,
think
is he in the
Jackson,
news still? I thought he's dead.
I can't remember.
Michael
Ah, well,
Jackson
there you
is,
go.
yeah.
So well, Michael Jackson.
We
is
knew
dead.
that.
It's
Yeah.
very
We know our massive.
If you know, write to us and the email section. Well, I'll mention the email address. But anyway,
We'll let you know later what the
Yeah.
address is.
American Gods came out.
Oh,
was
the second
weird.
season's come out yet.
Well, the first one did.
First one was brilliant.
See, there's something I've actually
Brilliant.
watched. First season, kind of lost interest.
Alright.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Well, I got
Like,
really
I got like 4
I-
or 5 episodes in, and
Yeah.
then it just got.
Yeah, I got
It
really,
got-
I got annoyed by the
Yeah.
this character needs a whole episode for themselves to explain their backstory. I got really annoyed by that.
By the way, because it's been out for a few months, I say we could get away with saying the girlfriend episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were kind of a bit.
I was like, you didn't need them to get back to Shadow and
Yeah,
Mr.
Odin.
Wednesday.
I like the dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, she's speaking.
We almost got it.
We got it out.
There you go, proof she exists.
Did that new Rick and Morty season come out this year? Because I can't remember.
Yeah. I actually
Yeah,
personally didn't
last
find
year.
it as good as the previous seasons. I actually think they were a bit poor.
Yeah,
Weaker than the original ones.
I think they got the
I
same
think
problem
there was a lot
as
of hype.
Black Mirror, where people are expecting things from them now.
I wasn't expecting a story though. I was expecting more random bullshittery from them, and what we got was more of a story-driven animation, which wasn't what I was looking for. I was looking for the random bullshittery that Rick and Morty would get up to. Which I
I'm sorry,
enjoyed in the
Pickle
first
Rick.
Yeah,
That
I
was
about to
pretty
say.
good. But that's one episode, whereas the whole first season was just random bullshittery after bullshittery after bullshittery.
Yeah,
I like the
doing
first
that.
episode
Well,
more.
Is they're tying it
Maybe.
all together in a big bullshittery with lots of little bullshits in
The
it.
first season was not just random bullshittery. It was just the story was hidden behind the bullshittery.
Yeah, but that's a
Yeah.
better way of doing it, I would feel. Rather than just playing on the story of being the main thing. It
Yeah,
can-
but you've got to grow as a show. I mean, you can't just
No,
keep doing
okay,
random bullshittery.
Okay, I agree.
I think what we can take away from this is that Ollie is a Jerry.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
oh,
Don't worry, you sleep with like a 3-titty bitch, so...
I'm
Got a point, she's pretty cool. She like moves really fucking fast.
I'm just flabbergasted that these guys think I'm a Jerry.
Actually, you are the Jerry from that episode when they're having the marriage counselling on that planet, and you come out as that worm.
And your missus is the xenomorph times 10.
Thanks, guys.
Also, the first episode is the weakest one of them.
Thanks, guys.
what's the
I
first
thought we were going to be
It's
looking
the
at
one
Jared
where-
and this, turns out
It's
I'm actually
the first season, so episode 1 is the weakest one, I was saying.
Oh, season 1, episode 1, the pilot. Yeah, of course. Like, but they were trying
Yeah,
to
but that
showcase what
turned
they
me off the show before I got back to it.
Same. But I always give everything on Netflix at least 3 episodes. I just find that's a good rule.
That's like the rule for everything, and it doesn't work for everything usually. Because usually you can usually tell where the series is going through the episode 1, but it doesn't work for all of them.
Well, not on an animation. They have to do a pilot.
Well, no.
good series that is actually still going. I think it's still coming out at the moment because they're doing it every Thursday. Vikings.
Yeah,
I
Vikings
watched
is
it.
good.
That's a really good episode.
I
I've
did
watched
pro-
it since the
You
beginning.
can just talk.
You can speak, you realise. You don't have to do these massive hand gestures just there.
Unless you want to become a regular,
You can become a regular member.
yeah, well, not a regular member, but regular guest.
We could just do this
Fuck you,
before our
you're not allowed
D&D.
in.
Or
How
after our
many
D&D.
coochie syndrome?
Then we could talk about D&D. D&D.
Yeah, we have recently started a new campaign.
No, we're not getting into that. We have this section to go through first.
Right, nine!
Did you out? Did you out?
in the right way!
What jokes?
Oh, Lord.
What funny?
Guys, that works really well in an audio format.
We don't really want people seeing us do that.
Anyway, movies.
We are no way inclined towards.
Oh, that was that new
Speaking
Star
for
Trek TV show. Came out.
Don't care.
Oh,
Moving
Discovery.
Yeah.
That was awful.
I've seen the first 2
on.
episodes.
Yeah, it's not
I'll
Star
leave it at
Trek.
I gave it 3 episodes and I went
I
by.
didn't get that far.
Oh,
I gave it as long as I was at the gym.
I didn't give it any of my time.
Oh, I don't. He's such a Star Trek knob. Like, it's not even.
It's not the Next Generation, which is my favorite.
Oh, I don't think Picard's in this one.
Also, movie Picard is not as good as series Picard. but
Honestly, when it comes to Star Trek, I couldn't give a shit.
Anyway, moving on.
Wait, really?
Does it have
That's the
Chris
question
Pine?
here.
Then it's probably going to be bad.
Is Kirk or Picard?
Picard.
I'm not asking you, I'm asking the listeners.
Alright.
They have the valued opinion here.
Really?
Kirk or Picard? Who is the best?
I think they.
What's
if
that
they're
lady out of
listening, they want to
Voyager?
hear our point of view rather than theirs.
Yeah, but I'm basically trying this so that we can like slam yours. I'm hoping they vote Kirk.
Yeah, sure.
When you just throw a curveball and go Voyager.
Oh, you mean
Janeway.
You mean Janeway? I'm gonna murder everyone in my path back to Earth. Janeway.
Yeah.
Yes, a real balls to the wall captain. Do that.
She doesn't have balls.
Show
Oh,
leadership.
She has Borg.
Oh hey, we made this
Yes,
new
Borg,
life form
yes.
that's a combination of 2 of our members, and he says don't separate us, and then they separate them anyway, and they kill that life form just to get those 2 crew members back.
But do you know why?
When they're
Because 2 is
stranded
better than 1.
outside of like the known reach. Yeah, do that. You need crew members.
Yeah, but okay.
Fuck that life
You
form.
can't
Sure.
afford to lose people.
At that point, 2 is better than 1.
Ah.
Because, 2 stations you can man instead of 1.
Well, we're morally ambiguous
Needs
anyway,
of
so
the
it's
many
fine.
outweigh the needs of the few.
Exactly.
There's about
TV
the only Star Trek reference
movie
you'll
that
get
came
out
out
of me.
recently that me and Jared had a lot of talk
You mean
about.
Jared and I?
Oh,
Oh, yeah. You know the one? Jared and I. Jared and
the
I.
Finnish
Thank
guy
you.
throwing down the English rules.
Bright, isn't it called?
Bright, yes,
Bright.
Bright.
It's
Came out
actually
on
pretty
Netflix.
funny.
It's actually, yeah, we all quite enjoyed it in a way, but me and Jared had pretty much a full-on 2-3 hour conversation about features we felt could have been improved in it.
Yeah.
We found so many little kind of tropes and things. If you're looking for something to watch, it's a good movie.
Just
Don't
so
watch
people are
this.
aware,
It's a good movie.
Bright is something that Will Smith did on Netflix. And it's got orcs, elves, men, all that in. And it's actually pretty cool, since they didn't explain what the fucking thing is. Now discuss.
It's not as fantastical
No,
as
the world
there's orcs, elves, all that stuff, but it's set in modern day LA.
So it's pretty much the Fables comics.
Well, not quite.
No, it's basically like LA Gangster Story. It's like Bad Boys 2 in the fantasy universe.
It actually is
America.
essentially it's a buddy cop set in Tolkien realm.
Tolkien realm, yeah.
So yeah,
We're all trying to find the magic shiny dildo.
but the only reason we were having a
Wands.
2 to 3 hour
Wands, that's what we call it.
The
only
comparison
reason-
they try to do with African Americans and orcs doesn't really work because they have actual reason behind the hate behind there. And I know
Yeah.
Matt's gone that because he doesn't want to talk about it, but alright. Hi, Matt.
No, you don't throw this one on me.
Anyway.
Go on, Matt.
Was it
Watched it.
Death Note, the live action one came out as well.
Oh,
I remember.
Oh, did it? I tried to ignore that
wow.
existence.
Yeah,
Wow,
good.
that exists?
If we all ignore it enough, it won't be real.
Maybe. Anyway, it's not good.
It's-
Moving on.
Moving on. No, we need to talk about how much of a travesty that was.
Well, they missed the whole thing,
They
like
ruined the
certain
whole
characters.
relationship situation between multiple characters. They moved it to America, which doesn't make sense half the time.
Well,
They
it
moved it
could
to
have
America
worked.
and changed his name for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and oh jeez, just there's so
Also, it
many
doesn't really work
flaws
in
in
America because there's some social Japan cultural
Japanese,
things that
yeah.
don't work as well.
Well, why the hell was he expecting a Shinigami?
it.
No, the god of death. Yeah, no.
No,
Like-
yeah,
Well,
it just doesn't work.
Isn't Light in the live action scared of Rogue?
No.
No, he is.
Oh, yeah,
he is
he
in
is.
that
Oh, yeah,
terrible
yeah.
2-minute scene where he's like screaming for his life, and
Yeah.
then suddenly he's calm as butter. Like it just
Yeah.
doesn't
Like
make
in
sense.
the manga and the anime,
Calm
he's
as
just like,
butter.
cool,
Ignore
I
it,
know
moving
you're
on.
coming.
Can we just dwell on that a second? Calm as butter.
You ever seen a stressed out butter?
It's
Nope.
really chill.
It's really
Hey,
chill.
we
I
got
got to talk,
She
We got words!
and I can't believe it was about butter.
Yeah, butter's what brought them out.
Moving on to movies. Dunkirk.
I watched
I
it,
literally
yeah.
have the
Don't
DVD at
spoil it for
home,
me,
and I
please.
need. Don't spoil it for
Don't
you.
spoil the
I'm
war.
pretty
I
sure
wonder
history
what-
class
Don't
did
mention
that.
the war!
Just to check,
Don't
Ollie,
spoil it.
who won the World Wars?
Isn't it? Fine.
Anyway.
There's a right
I'm
answer
well
and there's
aware it
a
was-
wrong
It
answer.
was the Allied nations that won the war. Thank you.
Did they?
Did they?
And who was in the Allied nations?
Well, actually, technically, Pauli's nation didn't because
No,
Yeah.
we
you
fought
weren't
on
the
both
Allies
sides.
though. You were.
We were on both sides and it was fine.
Oh, is that how this explains?
Yeah.
This fabled country
It's fine.
still has certain iconography that's slightly explicit. We're not going to bring it up and not say anything about it, but
Hey, we kicked them out eventually.
It's fine. It's a
you
fictional
didn't
country
kick them
anyway.
out. You just said
We did.
we don't need you anymore.
It was 100
No,
years
we
ago.
kicked them out because the Russians told us to.
I mean, who did you kick out of the country again? Oh wait, the Russians.
No, both. Eventually.
This fabled country doesn't agree with anybody. Just
Anyway,
themselves.
moving on.
Oh, Thor Ragnarok came out.
Yeah.
Oh!
Hey, that's a good
That
one.
was a good movie.
Half of it was awesome.
Which
Oh,
Which
he's
side?
always
There was
gonna
one
do
planet
this.
that was on Planet Hulk.
And she
Good.
still refuses to speak.
Well, the best bit is Thor Ragnarok comes out this week.
On DVDs.
Yeah.
I believe it's already out on DVDs.
Really?
Yeah. I could
Logan
have sworn I
also
saw it in like one of Tesco's or something.
Yeah. Logan also came out.
Logan was fantastic,
I
and
loved the ending of that.
on
Yeah.
the I don't know if it was on the
What,
DVD or
Berserker
anything,
mode?
but yeah, Berserker mode. But I don't know if it was on DVD or it was just a particular like direct download I did.
Right.
There was a noir version where they just put it into black and white,
Yeah.
and again, something that was actually improved by lack of color.
Ah,
Like it just worked for the film.
sure, because it's more of a old western anyway.
It's an old west. It's a bleak film though.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really just some like the tones they
What,
set
a bit
in
like
it,
Black
the
Mass?
story they talk about it. I really hope it just can't hear you.
Don't know, I can't remember what the gain is now, but anyway. It's going to be really annoying because everyone's talking different volumes to normalise this, but anyway. Have fun, listeners.
Talk different what?
Normalise because everyone talks at different volumes.
Thor Ragnarok is not out yet.
Oh, shame.
Blade Runner 2049 came out.
Lame.
Did
I liked
not
it.
see it.
Good movie.
Yeah, it's got that kind of cult classic status, isn't it already?
Yeah.
Haven't watched it.
But yeah, I have not seen it. I even have.
Ah, yeah, but you're talking.
You're talking, yeah.
Well, I needed water. That was the whole reason I wasn't talking. 'Cause I literally couldn't. Like my voice was like really dry. So I was like,
This,
To your
is, this
listeners.
is Shannon.
Yeah.
hi.
Our guest for this evening.
Poor unfortunate soul.
Anyway. Spider-Man Homecoming came out.
No.
Oh.
Oh god.
Wait,
Whoa,
have I
was
got?
that something? That's that thing
Excuse
again?
me. That
I'm
was
sorry, but
Oh,
yeah.
is that
I
because?
love that.
Is
No,
that
I
because
liked
you had
it.
Tom
Toby
Holland.
Maguire? Oh,
Hello.
Toby, that's not Toby Maguire.
Not
it's
for
Tom
that
Holland.
reason, but
No,
I liked
not
it.
necessarily. But like, okay, the only thing that I like kind of disagree on is the way the suit went, because it made my like. I get that they're modernizing it, but I was just like. But
Nah, that happened in
happened in
the
the
comics.
actual
I know, but it's like even in the comics, it made me a little bit.
It's the
sad.
progression of Marvel.
I was like,
And it's doing, Marvel's
Well,
doing
it had a
great job.
point where it was like, oh hey, here's Stark and he's going to modernize everything, and all those people on that side had like
Yeah.
nice stuff, and then Spider-Man eventually like rejects that, and therefore the
Yeah.
suit, getting rid of the suit, kind of symbolizes that. Anyway, simple as
You
it.
know what was an amazing movie that came out last year?
Oh god damn it! I wanted to speak about Spider-Man a little bit.
Justice League.
I know you can have that joke. You can
Mainly to tie in with it could not be worse than the Martha scene in the previous movie Batman vs Superman.
Anyone who likes DC, don't worry, you don't have to watch anymore. We know we just put you off.
It's really
If
weird
you
that
said
they-
something bad about a DC film.
I
we're
love how
done.
they're meant to be the ones watching it. Aren't they going to be the ones listening, and Marvel's going to be watching it through the
Yeah.
Tony Stark?
It's
glasses?
really weird how DC's animated movies are better than Marvel's, but the Marvel movies are better than the DC ones.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's
I
a
don't know
very
what
good
the
point.
difference is there, but
Yeah.
DC animated is fantastic,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and Marvel
brilliant.
just can't catch up with it.
No, they can't get it right.
But
I don't
where
know
do we
if
land on
it's
TV? I mean, like TV shows wise, do you prefer Marvel Agents of Shield, or do you like
I don't
all
know,
the
I prefer
DC crap?
DC versions.
But
Like
that's the
Supergirl,
thing that
Arrow,
you can't.
even
Yeah.
the
That's
Flash
the
not so much.
difference.
But
We
Supergirl
can't
and
have
Arrow
two
are really
conversations happening at the same time.
good. Here we go.
Sorry.
Sorry.
We can have 5 conversations going at once. We just won't hear it.
Oh, okay, we're gonna try that.
But
I see.
So, but where does Marvel Agent do you think Marvel owns TV as well as film?
Well, Marvel Agents of Shields, I started watching and I got bored and stopped.
Same.
Supergirl and Arrow, I actually found Supergirl's just constantly good. Arrow got worse, but I haven't.
Alright.
back
Justin, is that
No, I
because
haven't gone back
Supergirl
to
looks
that.
fit, or is that because
That is
it's a good story?
a big point on Justin.
Melissa is hot. I'll give her that. But it's not just that; it actually has a more interesting storyline.
Okay, but how about
Yes,
Flash,
well,
Legends of Tomorrow?
Flash, I don't enjoy as much. The guy in it, he's a very good actor. He just kind of annoys me. Like even the crossover
Actually,
episodes,
good.
he just pisses me off.
Just stepping in, good DC one. I did like Arrow. Arrow was quite
Yeah,
good. I
Arrow.
quite enjoyed Arrow.
First season of Arrow, epic.
Arrow, yeah,
Yes.
okay. It started to lose itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did dip a little bit, and it just didn't quite. Yeah.
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 I've watched all of it, but I don't know. I don't think it's lived up to its potential
Yeah.
necessarily.
Some news I just found. Someone's made PT again on Unreal.
PT?
Yeah.
Oh, Silent Hill PT.
Yeah.
That thing messed me up when
What?
I played it. For the
Because you
first
can't
time.
have that anymore because Konami said nope.
Oh,
And,
Konami again, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sensing a
okay.
theme here.
Yeah, I'm starting to see your
You
quirks,
can
mate.
see
I'm,
what
I'm also
Justin-
burning that bridge really hard. Same to me with Gordon Dream, but anyway.
No worry, viewers. If you like Konami, some of us might try and bring it back.
I'm sorry, but if you like Konami, you're wrong.
Right, just to try to appeal to everybody.
Kojima
here as
for
the one
life,
peaceful
bro.
person.
We're not planning to make this podcast for everyone to listen to, so if you don't agree with us, tough, fuck off. Leave
If you
more
don't agree with us, you can
space.
send hate mail. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. We'll actually read it as well.
Send
for
hate
fun.
mail.
Maybe.
The address you
Oh
send
yeah,
us to.
Ollie, you're in charge of the emails, right?
Yeah, I will generally read your emails, and I will give you a response if it's worth.
Oh, and
reading.
yeah, Ollie, you'll be in charge.
If you give me an email that's worth reading, by the way, this will be my entertainment for a few days, probably.
Yeah.
How will you find out if the email is worth reading
Because
without
I'll
reading
glance
it?
at it, and if it's actually something worth reading, I'll read it.
You just read it!
You have to
In a
make
sen-
your email
Yeah, you can't-
title.
I
The
know
email
what it
title-
contains
okay,
until
possible.
make
Okay,
the
so
email title.
If you've got a
interesting.
good subject header.
Yeah, there we go.
Right.
Subject header.
Every
I might
email
read
needs
it.
too long, didn't read in the first part. If that works, it catches the attention. It's like, I'm in. Right, we're going for this. You get a reply. If not, you're not getting a reply.
So there's going to be one really clever dude that's just got like a block of text, and the too long don't read is really interesting.
Yeah.
But it's got nothing to do with
It's
the block
basically
of
gonna be-
text he's about to make you read.
50,000 words of randomly generated Lorem Ipsum. Captioned by, and this is the reason I think Hitler did. I must know. And I'll sit there, he'll read every fucking bit and go, Dick, you wasted like 4 days of my life.
Fortunately, I'm a very fast reader, so probably it won't waste that much time.
I will generate that much right now.
Anyway, write to us at morallyambiguous@gmail.com. What's that again?
Morallyambiguous@gmail.com.
Thanks.
For those of you who didn't catch that, that's Ollie's a dick.
What?
I don't know.
As you can see, Justin is a bit short.
Anyway, this would be where our email section would be, but because we don't have any emails, because the first one, it's...
Quick, someone
Is
said
it actually going to be morally ambiguous at gmail.com?
We'll have,
Yeah, I already got
we'll
it.
have a phone call
That's
in.
so good.
Shout, off you go.
Anyway,
Oh, okay, thanks.
next section would be the Warhammer Tactics section, or whatever we want to talk about.
We're gonna really
The
have
Warhammer
this.
Tactics.
I'm shit enough
That's
at
a
Warhammer as it
big
is.
section.
Well, I know, but we can just slice it up into bits.
I'm
Alright,
terrible
let's
enough
pick
at Warhammer
one
as it
army
is,
and talk about
getting
tactics for that one army
scalpels.
then.
Yeah, but which one? Because it started out being 30k, but we've kind of gone to fantasy again and all over the place.
And Pauli refuses to join 40k.
Well, of course.
Well, okay, so when you say Warhammer, you don't you mean?
We can probably pick a section and whatever
we should do.
What?
We should have like the main podcast,
Yeah.
and then in each one we should just upload like sections. Like here's a Warhammer section, a game section, TV section. People can just pick and choose.
We can probably just do the Warhammer stuff separately.
Yeah. I think that way we could like split it off. So
Yeah.
for the poor like 15-year-old there going, I must know. They can find out about which indie game is
Oh, I got
something
it.
that's
Why don't we just play like a game a week, and then we'll talk about the tactics we used during that game.
Wait, does that mean? Oh,
Wait,
a Warhammer.
nah.
Okay,
I can sum this up right now. Every time I play Ollie, I will taunt him a little bit while we deploy, and then he'll charge me and lose.
And forget Scout.
Yeah,
Oh,
forget
yeah.
Scout.
Forget Scout. Yeah, I'm
Because he
well known
plays
for that
a
ability.
White Scars army. There you go.
I'm a White Scars. I meant to scout. I meant to move fast, and I charge.
But
just
we'll
as
alienate
custodians.
all the other legions we don't play. Like Ultramarines.
I play the Ultramarines.
Do
No,
you?
you have. You haven't yet played.
You haven't
I
played.
haven't yet
you
played. I'm
refuse
still
to-
collecting.
You're still lazy enough not to paint them.
Yo, I'm just playing League. Like,
We actually even suggested to him, whilst I had, by the way, I used to have a terrible computer called the Toaster, that he
There's a
might
whole
be
big
worth
story
actually
behind that.
painting.
just not really.
He might be
Yeah.
actually worth painting a model each time we try to load into a game.
could have built the lore.
Well, let the fans do that, Pally.
We could have done something about it. In the first episode.
So, for those who are confused, we live in a magical world. That's what you get this week.
Go nuts.
Who has to find out what it is?
It's gonna be really weird if we get a wiki page somewhere.
Oh.
That'd be weird.
These idiots
hesitate
wasted
to
my
think.
life. I want to sue.
Who are these people? I want to murder them.
Worst 2 hours of my god.
Wait, how long have we been chatting for?
Let me see. It's an hour now.
Jesus
This is
Christ.
halfway through.
Well, potentially, but we are putting stuff down because first time and we have to go through this.
fair enough.
Okay,
And
so
don't
an hour
have
and a
as
half.
much stuff to think about.
Fair enough. So this is a good time for people to pause and get a drink.
Yeah,
We've
pause.
been doing that already. You haven't
If
paid
you haven't been
attention.
drinking this far, I praise your patience.
We will start a drinking game off, and you will get rules for that at some point.
Now is the time that you pick up the whiskey.
We do the drinking podcast.
But I kind of like the thing, like someone starts talking about something that they're really passionate about, and someone just opens a can.
Every
Yep.
time Ollie says knife,
Anyway.
like Ollie overrules
Actually, is there
cast.
one over there?
Yeah, I got a few.
No, I don't get the business out of it.
We'll start the drinking game next time.
Yeah, sure.
Next time on Morally Ambiguous.
Yeah.
Ugh, I can't see anything, I'm blind.
Anyway,
Oh Jesus!
So, Pally, give us a rundown of what's coming up in part 2.
I don't know. We'll see.
That's it.
By the way, viewer, this is how Pally responds to everything. He doesn't tell us anything, and all of this bullshittery is generally what we
Hey, you
think.
can prepare as much as you like.
Not that you gave us much time to do this, to be honest.
No, I told you like this
we literally started planning pre-Christmas.
3 weeks ago.
So not enough time for somebody like me.
Alright then. But we do this weekly.
Me and Pally have been
Do
speaking
we?
about
Yeah.
this in like the last
Oh
for a
dear
while.
God, viewer, look forward to a load of bullshittery
They're
from me.
listeners, not viewers.
Listeners,
I'm
viewers,
so
who
busy
cares?
not attending lectures.
By the way, Jared can go fuck himself.
Anyway, I think that's a strong enough ending.
Bye.